April 2013, Public Forum, Affirmative. We affirm resolve the continuation of current U.S. anti-drug policies in Latin America will do more harm than good. Contention 1. Aerial fumigation. Aerial fumigation is the release of chemicals designed for mass killing of crops. American funding currently drives fumigation in Colombia to destroy coca plants. According to the International Society for Ecological Economics, up to 25 child deaths result due to starvation from aerial fumigation. Neighboring countries such as Ecuador and Colombia have had a large increase in hospital visits each day, tied directly to the use of aerial fumigation in surplus, stated by the Transatlantic Institution. The use of aerial fumigation has also caused a total of 4 million internally displaced people, the root cause of recession and poverty. The majority of these adversely affected and displaced individuals are indigenous people of Latin America. The food security of indigenous communities is put at risk as health suffers. The fumigation is also highly ineffective, as the U.S. Office of Drugs reports the year before Plan in Colombia began, 680 tons of cocaine were produced, and by 2007, only 600 were produced, a net decrease in only 80 tons. Here the impacts are threefold. First, the direct health of society is put in jeopardy. Second, millions of indigenous are displaced. And third, the food security of Latin Americans is vanishing. Contention 2. Current drug policy fuels harmful instability and violence. Current policies propose threats to both American lives and Latin American lives. The Congressional Research Service reports that one of America's drug policies towards Latin America is that of interdiction, where efforts seek to combat the drug trade as traffickers transport drug products. The CRS states that interdiction efforts would raise the retail price of illegal drugs, potentially resulting in increased economic rewards to the drug traffickers. The CRS also shows that this leads to increased violence and corruption because interdiction efforts pose the unintended consequences of sparking short-term increases in drug-related violence. Here it is clear that our policy actually makes the drug trade more profitable for the very people the United States is trying to stop. With this money, the Beckley Foundation reports that traffickers have increasingly used corruption to undermine democracy and stability. They further state this leads to corrupt officials and cartel officials gaining local members of government and national offices. Contention 3. Current drug policy in Latin America is a waste of money and American lives. The effects of this corruption and violence were noted by Stanford University, when Benjamin Lessing writes that between 2006 and 2007, drug-related killings in Colombia increased from 2,000 to 15,000. The impacts are clear. According to Wired, over the past 4 years, the United States has spent over $95 billion on the war on drugs in Latin America. Due to conflict between new drug gangs and successfully shifted cartel lines, the economy incurs a net loss of $97 billion. This has been accompanied by a 23% jump in Bolivian cultivation and an 8% jump in cultivation in Peru. In 2012, $830 million was spent trying to intercept drugs headed for America, while 4,000 troops were deployed in the region. Additionally, these efforts have been largely ineffective. Colombia has shown no signs of slowing, and in 2008, cocaine production reached an all-time high. Furthermore, this problem is apparent to the government, which stated that American efforts to stop the drug trade have simply not worked, and the system is completely on autopilot. Not only does the Colombian government recognize the problem, but the United States Office on Colombia reports that there has been little effect on the price and availability of cocaine in the United States. The U.S.-supported fumigation program in Colombia has been a resounding failure, end quote. If our own government admits to the failures of the system, something must be wrong. The impacts of exorbitant spending in the region are threefold. First, the U.S. loses $101 billion. Second, 4,000 American lives are put in harm's way. And third, no progress has been made in the region to inhibit drug production. Thus, we affirm.